Hello everybody and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Guapish Rule 34 Bazinga! As always, I'm your host Tanner, and today I am also joined by my super special co-host Nico.
Mazel tov, Hebrews and Shebrews, and a happy Ramadan to you all.
And also joining us, my super special co-host Jackson.
When will I be the first person you introduce, Tanner? When will it stop being Nico? When will his tyranny end?
Tyranny?
Tyranny.
Minor spelling error. And also joining us, my super special co-host Dylan.
Good gracious, Batman! It's another Guapish episode.
Holy cow, he got the assignment. And joining us after many a moon, my very special guest slash brother, Hunter.
The title of this podcast gets longer every time I'm on here.
They actually recently shortened it.
Did I just introduce it as Guapish Rule 34?
Bazinga.
Did you?
Yes.
I think you did.
Dang it. We dropped that part. We're not that anymore. We're
Cut
just
that out.
Guapish.
After so many
up.
episodes, it's just muscle memory at this point.
It is
you know?
muscle memory. I literally do it identical every single time.
You know what's the worst part about that?
Yeah.
I was substitute teaching this past week, and this kid raises his hand and says, "Hey, you kind of look like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory." And that was the meanest thing a child has ever said to me in my life. And now you just brought that
Very
back
funny.
by saying Bazinga.
It was the first catchphrase that came to mind. And speaking of catchphrases, we are doing a catchphrase tier list today, ladies and gentlemen. This is catchphrases that we use. Doesn't necessarily have to be ones that we invented. But yeah, right now we can change the tiers as we see fit. Actually, so we're gonna be kicking it off with one of Jackson's catchphrases. You are absolutely fill in the blank for that one. He often goes manic for the blank.
Oh, I heard retard in my head. We can go with that one though.
You're absolutely retarded for thinking that retard fit there.
Sure.
Jackson, just for fun, can you give us this one?
You guys are absolutely manic for that one.
There you go.
There we go.
So where do you guys think we should put? You guys are absolutely manic for that one, or blank, you know.
I feel
Boy.
like that's a decent, middle of the road one to go with.
Yeah.
I'm thinking probably B tier.
I think you guys are haters. I think that's a great catchphrase. I'm saying A.
This is gonna be such a fucking biased tier list.
I think it's a solid A as well. I like this one from Jackson.
I think it's a low A, high B. I'll go B tier though. Make it easy.
Okay, what are you thinking, Hunter?
I have some classic criteria for this.
Okay.
Obviously, the strength of the catchphrase, the flexibility of the catchphrase in different situations. I also have a negative criteria for how much millennials would like it. If they like it a lot, I hate it even more. But I'm gonna go.
Classic.
I'm gonna go B for this one.
Okay.
You're absolutely manic for that one.
Thank you.
Let's see how many times we could fit these catchphrases in.
This is one we all use all the time. This is a show special. Speaking of, and then something unrelated to what we're about to start talking about.
As the pioneer
tier.
of this one, I think that this is a fantastic catchphrase. I'm throwing in S tier.
You can suck my balls if you think you're the pioneer of this one. I do agree this is an S tier one. We do this all the time. I think it's hilarious every time.
Yeah. You know what? It is a staple of the show. Let's give it an S tier. We can't not give it an S tier.
I agree. It is funny every time. I'm thinking only an A personally.
Damn.
What about you, Hunter?
I think that, speaking of my uncle's distorted testicles, this probably deserves an S.
Okay.
We got 'em.
There you go. Fantastic. This is a
hell
classic
yeah, brother.
Dylan catchphrase.
Hell yeah, brother. This one's a great one. This applies to this is just an absolute, you're on board with what was just said, you know? You gotta say it with so much enthusiasm.
It is very flexible, but I think it's pretty basic, to be honest. I think
that's
I'm
fair.
going to go C.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't realize this was a Dylan catchphrase. My mind initially went to Hulk Hogan, and I think that dropped it down a tier for me.
God damn, okay. Me being as Nico said, pioneer of this catchphrase, I do think I love this phrase. I go to it a lot because I say the same shit all the time. I'm going to get A.
Okay.
If this was exclusively Hulk Hogan, then I would give it an A, but I'm gonna have to give it a B.
God damn you, Hunter.
I'm giving it a C.
I'm thinking a C as well.
Damn.
Sounds like it's landing at C then.
Hell no, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I think this one is concentrated a bit on Jackson, but it goes around a little bit.
Yes, I agree.
I think it's a solid C
Yes,
tier.
sir.
Yeah, I think it's a fine one. It's C.
Yeah, this one's just kind of whatever, to be honest. I think it's a good filler, but nah.
I wouldn't have even guessed it was concentrated around me, to be completely honest with you.
I'm
when
pretty
the fuck
sure
would
I
ever
say
say
this
that?
more often than any of us here, to be completely honest.
Who knows?
I
Just
do.
to be completely honest on this.
I would be shocked if it's not.
Guapish at the movies!
Okay.
Is that a catchphrase?
I'm gonna be honest, guys. This is gonna be controversial. B tier.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a strong catchphrase, and it's super applicable to, obviously, our podcast, but it's not as universal as speaking of unrelated segue, so I'm gonna give it a solid A as well.
I think that's fair from Dylan. It's not a super universal one. You can't just, like, bust at a party or anything like that, so...
You should try it.
Is that how we're rating these?
I mean...
Use whatever criteria you want, man.
I think the universality of them definitely makes them stronger if that's something that can be applied. I'm probably
Right.
B as well for me.
So, what's the difference between a catchphrase and a tagline?
I feel like a
Stop
tagline is
asking
something
too many
you say...
questions.
Do you guys want an honest ranking out of me? You brought me here for a reason, and I take my job very seriously.
In my mind, what a tagline is it's something a character could be noted saying at the end of almost every single sentence. Like, it's their signature to know it's them for sure.
Interesting.
So I guess Guapish at the movies could be a tagline in that aspect.
Hunter, do you have any catchphrases over on your podcast?
Oh, obviously, we have tons of catchphrases at my podcast at Hidden Insecurities.
Oh,
Hidden insecurities at the movies.
That's great.
I have hidden securities everywhere.
That's very funny. Sorry, I stepped away for a second there. Where are we landing with Guapish at
We
the
all
movies?
said
B.
Yeah, D.
We all said E.
No. Don't.
Sounds good. Jesus. I think this one's kind of a me, often a Dylan as well.
I see this more of a Nico catchphrase, to be completely honest.
You know what? You're right. It's all of us except for the heathen unbeliever Jackson.
Jesus. Oh, damn it, I just did it.
Hunter, how often do you take the Lord's name in vain?
I try my best not to, except when it's for comedic effect. But this doesn't even seem like it's for comedic effect. It's more of a reactionary thing. So,
Yeah.
Based on my morals, I'm going to have to give it a C.
That's
Okay.
fair, dude.
Personally, based on my morals, I'm giving it a D. I don't set my Lord's name in vain, and I think you guys are all heathens for doing so
God damn
frequently.
it, Jackson.
Hunter, do you feel like God has a sense of humor, though?
I mean, he made you, so...
Oh,
God
oh
damn.
my God. Jesus.
And that knocked it down to D tier.
Jeez. Really silly fun fact, Nico's parents wouldn't let me in the house if I continued to use the Lord's name in vain. Anyway, I'm gonna give this a B. It's alright, but, not super powerful.
I'm probably at a C on this one.
I'm going
That's also
C as
fair.
well.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify, I didn't mean that mean thing about you, Nico. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Hunter. It means a lot.
We don't
He's just
apologize on this
saying that.
podcast.
Anyways.
It's just for my own guilt.
Anyways.
Anyways is a classic Danganronpa catchphrase as well. I'm a big fan of it.
Oh, that is the origin of it, isn't it?
Oh, it seems too
Oh,
universal
man.
to come from a specific place. Is it really a Danganronpa
Well,
thing?
that's why me and Nico use it so much, because there's so many times where, like, it's a visual novel game, so you're reading a lot, and then a character will just go, anyways, and then they'll go to something else.
That's solid.
That's great. I think anyways is S tier. I love anyways.
It's a good transition too. You can pretty much use
It's not.
every
it's
time.
a good transition, and that's funny. It's not good
Yeah.
at actually transitioning.
Anyways.
Anyways.
I think an A tier for me.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I agree with S tier.
I'm a hater. I think it's B.
Oh, damn.
I'm gonna give it an S tier. It's a classic, just It gets you out of any little pickle you have.
True,
It's a
true.
verbal smoke bomb.
It really is.
I don't know
that?
how to add to this conversation, so I'm going to turn it into a different one.
It's like when that one guy's talking to you for way too long and you just hit a... Anyways, I should probably get going.
Anyway,
Yeah,
probably
pretty.
get going. I gotta be hitting the road. Shockingly enough, this is a Tanner classic. I pull
Classic
this one out
Tanner.
all the time.
Yeah, you use this super often. Not sure how applicable it is. You usually tack it on to, like, as a matter-of-factly kind of statement, or, you know...
I do use it, ironically, far more often than earnestly.
I don't know, I think it's a solid B tier, though. I don't think it's bad, but it's not super strong.
I think it's middle of the road at a nice C.
This C is not middle of the road.
The C is not
shockingly
middle of the
enough.
road.
I'm thinking probably like B tier.
Unfortunately, you cannot get out of my mind that C is average, so I put C as average.
Gotcha.
I think this is just a top-heavy oriented tier list.
Shockingly enough, despite this being my catchphrase, I'm also at a B.
I don't like how the word shockingly is spelled, so I'm going to have to give it a C.
No.
Okay,
It just doesn't feel right.
that's fair enough.
Unfortunate.
I understand that.
Is fair-
Speaking, wait, what?
What?
It's in a
God.
different order.
Fucking damn it,
you
Tanner.
got it out of order, you stupid piece of shit.
It should be in the same order. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, this is... I think I say this one the most.
Probably.
It's usually at Dylan's expense.
Usually at Dylan's expense.
Yeah.
And for that, you gotta give it an S tier, right?
I give it a D tier.
D for Dylan.
Yeah, it's a little basic, to be honest. I think I use it with solid comedic timing, which helps, but just in a vacuum, yeah, I'd probably go C tier.
How do I actually feel about this catchphrase? Hold on a second.
Yeah, isolate yourself from it. Remove all emotion from your decision here.
Yeah, I'll give it a C tier. It's kind
I
of
think
whatever.
like B. It's fine.
I'd
Yeah.
also say B.
I give it a C. It's not creative.
No, it's not.
True.
I don't endorse
Aye.
the bullying of Dylan or Goblin Rape.
Oh, it's
so-
cut off.
Unfortunately, this one got cut off, but
Damn.
it is unfortunately.
Yeah.
We say this one too often. In any context.
It's our version of pseudo comfort whenever we're doing a tier list.
I don't know what you mean by that.
We try to make the person who's rooting for it to feel better, but we don't actually mean it.
That's fair enough. I think we sometimes use this instead of Like, we let this one fly with reckless abandon.
This is your filler word?
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
This
I don't know.
really
I don't.
sucks, dude.
This
I
is
can't-
this is a terrible. I don't think this is a good catchphrase at all. I actually will give this a D tier.
I'm not gonna be that mean. I think it's a C.
I think it's B.
I'm going B as well.
I mean,
Interesting.
it's just a word.
It's a sick word. Look at it.
And words have power, Hunter.
Words do have power. Words.
And a
sure.
picture's worth 1,000 words.
That's what they
And that is
say.
a picture of a word, so therefore it is 1,000 times 1,000, which makes it 1,000,000 words.
And for that, unfortunately, a D.
Holy cow.
Unfortunate.
Love that little guy.
That's a Jackson if I've ever heard one.
That is a Jackson. Nico says it pretty often as well.
I think it's guilty by association. Anyway, I think this is pretty average. I don't think it's middle. Well, actually, based on this tier list, it is middle of the road. I'll give it a B.
I like this one a lot. I'm giving this one A, not because I say it a lot, but because I think you can use it in funny contexts. Like, for example, Tanner, let's say you were drinking and driving one night and crashed your car in a horrible accident, and I hear the news, and of course I immediately go, oh, I love that little guy. You know, that's fucking hilarious, and you can use it in all sorts of applications.
Yeah.
I agree.
Probably our most often application is whenever Tanner like sends a dick pic and we all respond in unison with I love that little guy.
Alright, you know what? You've convinced me. I'll give it an A rank.
And sometimes those two situations coincide with.
They often do, in fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How often, when you guys use this phrase, are you actually referring to a little guy?
I like half the time I'm talking to one of my cats.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'll give it an A for
or an
that,
anime
then.
character.
I think it's a good A tier.
Fantastic, dude. This is a classic Nico one. Nico, can you give us your rendition of it.
Yeah, quick question for the audience here. How do you guys feel about question for the audience?
Engagement farming.
Yeah.
It never works, not once.
I'm gonna be honest, Nico. I'm not a huge fan of question for the audience.
Well, I'm not a big fan of you constantly going and
Someone didn't take public speaking in college.
Improv
He
suicide.
did though. We took the same class together.
Oh,
True,
This
dude.
is awkward.
I gave a speech on how to skin a cat.
I
and
referenced
bought
that
a box
many a
knife and a
times.
stuffed cat.
Yikes.
Really?
Yeah, I've referenced that to my speech teacher. and he said, "Do not do that." I said, "Okay."
That's fun.
I got permission. I don't know.
Man.
This is deep Tanner lore. Anyways, I'm not a crazy big fan of this one either. Pushing D, I would say.
I'm gonna go D as well.
All I'm trying to do is get you guys involved in the conversation. Is that so bad? I'm giving it a B.
I mean, it's our podcast that we're already involved in the conversation. Man, I don't know. I don't think it's D tier bad. I think it's... I'll give it a B.
Okay, Hunter, what do you think?
I appreciate him trying to reach out to people. Maybe it's a cry for help. I think it might be. And for that, we should really care for our friends. So I'm going to go A.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Sounds
That's
about
fair
right.
enough. This is Jackson and Nico. I think Jackson says it more usually.
I think I've stolen this one from Nico. I got it from him, and I say this all the fucking time, and I think it's great. I just think it's a funny way of agreeing with somebody.
it's very fun. I'm a big fan too. Unfortunately, though, when I hear people say things and steal them from me, it makes me less apt to use them myself. So I think I've
True.
simply conceded it. I do still like it, though. I think it's a good one. I'll go A.
I, unsurprisingly, am not the biggest fan of this one. It's kind of whatever to me. It's kind of C tier for me.
Hunter, what do you think?
I would say I would have to give it a, I don't know, like a B or an A. Let's go A minus.
Okay. I think, personally, I'm feeling a B. I think it's funny.
Personally, I'm saying an A, so put it in there.
Holy cow. Holy smokes.
Holy smokes!
I should have added holy cow. Let's say this is holy smokes / holy cow.
Okay.
Who says holy cow, though? I say holy smokes.
I literally just said holy cow 30 seconds ago.
I guess that's fair. Holy cow is mine, or holy smokes is mine, though, so... I don't know. You
Where does
guys-
this phrase originate from? What the fuck does this mean?
Canadians say it a lot.
Hunter, do you know?
I think it's weed.
Oh,
Is it like
Okay.
when you're puffing a cigarette and you like puff a circle and it looks like a halo?
Holy smokes.
That's holy smoke.
This is millennial
Yeah.
humor. D.
it's fine. I'll give it a C.
I'm going C as well.
I use it a lot, but I also just use it for no reason, so I'll give it a B tier. It has no purpose.
I say holy smokes a lot as well, but yeah, I'd probably put it at C.
Damn.
Fantastic.
I think it's a not super exciting filler
I hate to
word.
break it to you guys, but your catchphrases kind of suck, apparently.
That's fine. I don't know if I could say this is
enough.
mine. I think Jackson might say this as much as me, if not more.
I associate it with Dylan the strongest.
We can, yeah.
I think this one's kind of boring. I'm going to go C.
I'm giving it a B. I think you're a hater.
Yeah, I think it's alright. I'll give it a C as well.
I think it's all right. I'll give it a C. Anyway, I like to infuse this with like some energy and some enthusiasm. So I think there's a lot of energy behind this. I'm gonna give it an A.
Okay.
Can you give me your best rendition of it real quick?
Let's fucking go!
That's not even how he says it usually.
Well, yeah. There's so many ways you could say it. That's what makes it great. You don't have to say it the same way every time.
That is versatile.
It's-
Normally I
Say
Normally I
it
say when I'm
Give
playing
us
Counter-Strike and I
sultry.
just get domed and I just say let's fucking go right after in a really monotone fashion.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
I give it a
I
B.
didn't. What'd you say, Tanner?
enough.
Say it how?
I said say it sultry.
I don't know what that
Let's
means.
fucking go.
Fucking go.
S,
I'm not
S,
gonna do
S,
that. I don't
S,
want to give
S,
anybody
S.
the wrong idea here.
Listen, buddy.
This is definitely a Tanner
Listen,
thing.
buddy.
This is a Joe Biden quote that we all adopted.
This is a Joe Biden quote. D tier.
Oh,
Base?
Anyway,
Damn, I didn't
politics.
put based on this list.
You also didn't put the monkey either, dude. But oops, I'm on fire is on here. Who the fuck says that one?
That's a classic Hunter catchphrase, right, Hunter?
What's my catchphrase again?
Right here.
What's it say?
Oops, I'm on fire.
Oh, yeah, I say that every time
We're
I'm on
skipping
fire.
right to that one now, okay. I don't see how this is applicable anywhere. I'm gonna give it a D tier.
Well, here, Hunter, use this catchphrase like you're at Subway and they said they're out of Italian bread.
Oops! I'm on fire! That's exactly how I say
Nah, I
it.
don't
I
see
think
it.
this could be funny in an ironic context. Like, let's take ourselves back to that Counter-Strike example I was talking about, right? Where I just get dumbed in the fucking head and I immediately say, oops, I'm on fire.
Or it could also be a good thing if you're dumbing people in the head. Just, oops, I'm on fire. No, that's millennial humor.
okay.
Give it
No, I
D,
don't think
D,
that's very
D,
funny.
D,
I'm
D.
saying this,
Put in D tier.
Jesus, okay.
Fair enough. Where's Listen Buddy go?
I like Listen Buddy. I'm giving it an A.
I'll give it an A. Even though it's used against me a majority of the time, I think it's a solid one.
Listen, buddy.
I think you guys are retarded. Let me give this one a D tier.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Jackson's a
I think
fucking
it's an
hater.
A.
It makes me feel slightly emasculated, which is kind of hot, so A.
There we go.
Sounds good.
You guys are all weird for that one.
Okay.
Whatever that means. We use this one a lot.
I like this one because it's just a funny way of dismissing somebody for really anything.
Why are Tanner's
giving-
catchphrases all angled towards me? All of
This
these he
is-
says to me.
I say this
just-
a lot. I like
Also
when I'm with Tanichi, he'll just say some nonsense all the fucking time, and I say whatever that means to that all the time. Like basically every single call. I'm giving this one an S tier.
I catch myself saying this one far more frequently now. I think it's contagious. I think I have to give it an S.
I think it's alright. I'll give it a B.
Huh.
I think I agree with the S tier, to be honest.
I'm liking the S too.
Oh,
There
Good
we
fuck,
go.
Nico.
I'm sorry.
Whatever
Zoinks.
that means.
Say yes to the S.
Zoinks, this is one Jackson says. I don't know if he does it
Does he?
ironically or
I'm
not.
pretty sure that's
I don't think
something
I've
that
ever said
Shaggy
zoinks.
says.
I also
don't-
do not recall Jackson saying zoinks.
I'm pretty sure.
Tanner just saw a big old lanky white boy and was like, yeah, he says zoinks.
This brother says yours.
I'm pretty sure he says something similar to Zoinks.
I think you're thinking
I
of
say
Jinkies.
Jinkies.
Oh,
it might be Jinkies.
anyways,
Jeepers Creepers.
I agree with my husband.
I do say Jeepers Creepers.
He does say Jeepers Creepers.
I don't know. Since this is none of our catchphrases, this is immediately going to D tier.
Put in D.
I'm not a fan of Zoinks. Definitely D.
Womp womp.
I mean, Shaggy was pretty
R.I.P.
chill.
Shaggy. It's impossible to say.
Tanner uses this all the time.
This is a strong A tier one for me. I'm a big fan, but it's impossible to say.
Yeah, I'm thinking A as well.
Yeah, I'll go with the A.
All of Tanner's catchphrases are the most condescending things in the world.
It's because he invented them just for me. It's because of my existence that these came to be.
Tanner was never a condescending individual prior to Dylan coming into his life.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think
For
you
sure.
understand, Dylan. I was you for the 18 years before.
God damn, you can have it back! Take it back, you monster!
Why do you think
Yeah,
he moved?
I'm gone.
I love this one. It's great for when someone asks you a question and you either don't know the answer or you know it's going to cause an argument, so you don't feel like getting into it, so you just go, it's impossible to say. Or more frequently, we use it for like a question that has a very simple answer, like, dude, is it going to rain today? It's impossible to say.
I say it a
Pretty
lot
solid.
too when people are just asking me some shit and I'm not paying any fucking attention. Like they're talking like a serious conversation with me and they ask for my opinion. I'm giving them nothing. I just say it's impossible to say. Just shut them down.
Yeah, I think that one's a strong S.
How did like 3 A tiers landed in S tier? You know what? I'm not even gonna argue.
It's impossible to say.
It's impossible to say. She's got the dogs out, dude.
I never use this. You three are the biggest supporters of this fucking phrase. I don't understand.
Hunter, do you know what this means?
What is the quote?
She's got the dogs out.
S.
But that's all. Do you know what it means?
I do refer.
It sounds like he does.
I do know what it means.
Doesn't it have...
Okay.
You guys have used it under the pretense of multiple implications, if I'm not mistaken.
Are you guys freaky like that?
Yes.
Hunter, do you have a strict no socks or shoes in the kitchen rule in your household?
A strict
Why
one?
in the kitchen?
Yeah.
I do not have any strict rules on the things I wear on my feet, but I'm usually a socks off kind of guy.
Well, it's not supposed to be a
Does this
rule for
translate
you.
over to
It's
the
like,
other
you know,
member of your
wife.
household?
Are you trying to ask the question if my wife is not wearing socks most of the time she's at the house?
A tier.
Dude, I agree with A tier.
I think it's a good A tier.
You guys are freaks.
You said S tier already.
I think this phrase is whatever. I don't get it. I'm just gonna say C.
Dude, she's got the dogs out.
It's got the dogs out.
This is your or this is my Joker moment.
I'm a big fan of this one. I say this all the fucking time, to be completely honest. I'm saying S tier for this one.
I've heard Nico say it. I don't recall anybody else really ever saying this.
Dude, I said it like 2 episodes ago. I don't remember what in reference
You
to.
think
but
I remember two? I don't even remember last episode.
I think I referred to the Black History quiz as Tanichi's Joker moment.
That sounds about right.
I usually say I'm turning into the Joker or something along those lines.
And I'm joking out.
I'm going Joko mode.
I'm
I
going
think it's
Joe.
fine. I'll give it a solid B. I think it's pretty mid.
I like it personally. I'll give it an S.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm feeling the S2 as well, actually.
I feel like this is low key.
Dude, put it in there. Fuck it.
This is low key millennial humor, but I'll only say B.
Okay.
Oh, holy smokes.
Hater
Fair
alert,
enough.
hater alert.
I am.
This is my
I
Joker
don't-
moment.
I am a hater.
No,
That's my Joker.
he's based
Question
for that one. I agree.
I love that little guy. Hell yeah, brother. Shockingly enough.
You just fucking
Unfortunately.
killed Sandwich.
Holy smokes.
You should put an end to sandwich right now, Tanner.
You should give her to Blake.
This is Sandwich's Joker mode.
This is Tanichi's Joker.
True.
There are 2 wolves. This is a Jackson one.
Oh,
I
this is
say this
100%
so
a
fucking
Jackson one.
often, like every single episode probably.
Usually in terms of tier lists or tournaments. Where did you get this from, my guy?
The meme.
It's a
I don't
classic
fucking know.
meme.
I didn't hear any of that because all of you talked at the same time.
It's a classic meme where it's like a black wolf and a white wolf facing each other. It's like there are 2 wolves inside you. One, loves Cheez-Its and the other wants Tostino's pizza rolls or some stupid bullshit like that. But yeah, anytime... I feel like Jackson's brain has a tripwire in it where anytime he recognizes there are 2 disagreeing sides here, he goes, there are 2 wolves.
Well, to be fair, when he does it though, it's usually when we're ranking movies, and it's because 2 people gave it an S and 2 people gave it like a C or some shit like that. It's usually
Dylan, thank you for repeating what I just said with more words.
You're
Anyways, I think this one's pretty funny, but I think I'm gonna go B.
That's a little mean, I think. I'm giving it an A.
I'm also saying A. I like saying this one. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I'll also give it an A.
Based on the fact that it has me chuckling in my chair without even like saying anything else, I think if you just say there are 2 wolves but you don't explain any further, it's an S. If you choose to say things after there are 2 wolves, then it's like a B.
No, it ends with
Okay.
there are 2 wolves.
Yeah, you just have to say there are 2 wolves, and I think
Yeah.
everyone
There are 2
knows what's
wolves.
going on.
Next time you and your wife are like trying to figure out where you eat and you both say a different place, please just throw out there are 2 wolves.
Yes, I'm going to tell my 7-month pregnant wife that there are 2 wolves inside of her.
Oh, wolf children?
Say la vie. This is a Nico.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
100% a Nico. He says this shit all the time.
I'm a big fan.
I'm
It's
not.
just a last with extra syllables.
It
Is
is.
that how you spell that?
I find this. Yeah.
It's close enough.
I
don't
find
like
this
it.
catchphrase annoying. I give it a C.
I kind of agree with my husband. I think it's a C.
Dylan only hates it because I use it so much against him.
You guys use all of these catchphrases against me. That's a terrible cop-out.
True.
There are 2 wolves to the Guapish
I'm giving it an
podcast.
S.
That was expert craftsmanship. I'm going to raise mine to a B.
I'm gonna say B as well. I'd give it a little bit higher, but Nico likes to say it in a very condescending voice most of the time, so that knocks it down some points.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
goes like,
C'est la vie. Yeah, exactly.
Guys, we should figure out how to turn all these catchphrases into one big thing so we can make a transition.
Anyways, I agree with my husband, whatever that means. It's impossible to say. Listen, buddy, let's fucking go say la vie. Jesus. Yes, sir. Okay. Well, there you guys have it. That is our catchphrase tier list. Look at it in marvel and despair.
Yeah, please let us know which ones we missed. I'm sure that there are plenty. Who knows, though? Hunter.
Now, boys, hold on a second.
Uh-huh.
I was expecting this one to not take very long. So I do have a second tier list prepped if we want to do that.
Yeah.
Is it the cat's tier list?
Double tier
It's
list
also a bit of a
episode.
shorter one.
Okay.
Hold
It's
on,
just-
let me set
I've
it
heard
up
that
real quick.
one
It's just
before.
every president.
Oh, man. I'm gonna know, like, 3 of them. Nah, maybe 5, actually.
I would hope you'd know more than 3 of the presidents, my guy.
I know, I'm just
I
trying
love
to...
Andrew Garfield.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew
Now,
Garfield's funny.
You guys may
Yeah, the
remember a
cow.
previous tier list of mine, the comic book cover tier list.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a fun time. I enjoyed doing it. And recently, I have started reading through The Walking Dead Deluxe Edition, which is just re-releasing the entirety of The Walking Dead, but now it's in color.
More
And,
zombies.
since it's like a big celebration thing, they have a lot of different covers for each of the issues. So I decided just to collect all the different covers, and we'll be ranking those. Originally, I was thinking, I'll do all the covers for like the first 12 issues or something. And then I went, man, I've done the first 3 so far, and we already have enough for this to be the second half of the episode. So we're doing the first 3.
Okay.
Starting off, this is, as you guys may remember, the very first cover for the very first issue
I do remember liking this one a
of
lot.
the original one. This isn't from Deluxe.
Do you recall where it ranked in that big old
I
tier
don't.
list?
I don't,
Okay.
unfortunately. I still think this one is pretty strong. I'm gonna put it middle of the pack right now.
I think it's solid. It's got some pretty good attention to detail. I'll give it an A.
I'm also saying middle of the road. I like the idea. I'm not a crazy big fan of the colors. Mm-hmm. That's about it.
It is kind of pissy, isn't it?
It is a
It
dystopian
takes place
future.
in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll join you guys in the B.
Okay, what do you think, Hunter?
I'll go B as
Fantastic. Oh, I already put it there. So this one here is a 15th anniversary one for
This
issue
one
1.
is. It looks.
It
cool.
does look a bit low res.
It's it looks busy and I don't know.
I agree.
Like it's hard to without like staring at it. It's hard to really see what's going on.
Here, I'm gonna drop it in the chat as well so you can get a bit of a better look at it.
I prefer this over the other one. I'm going A.
Really,
Interesting.
I don't know if I could say this. Okay, yeah, this looks one much better. I don't know. It just looks busy and it's hard to decipher what's going on. The only reason we know what's going on is because we have the context that this is The Walking Dead.
I think you could fairly easily look at this and say that's a cowboy shooting zombies.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's too busy. I'll
I do look.
go ahead.
I like the art. I think it's cool and detailed. I think the framing is interesting, where it has, like, half of it is more focused on the cowboy, with the upper side, and the lower side is more focused on the zombies. But I still think it's like a B.
I'll also give it a B.
I agree with B. What do you think, Hunter?
There's a lot of attention to detail here, and you can tell the artist was really caring about this, which is kind of try hard. So C.
Bummer.
You tried too hard, so now it's bad.
So this is the normal cover for the deluxe edition.
Yeah, I don't like it as much. I'm going C tier.
This is like the first one without the cool glass trick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say C.
Yeah, that's weird that they don't do the reflections, because I feel like that's the really standout thing in the first one.
Right, it's what I was thinking.
I like the idea that it's, a take on the original one, but I agree it's not as effective, so I think I'll
Right.
agree with C.
Yeah.
So this is for the first issue, deluxe edition, the second printing. Personally, I think this one looks pretty sick. Like, you can tell that, like, the person who drew this is, like, insanely good at drawing portraits. Like, I just think this looks really good.
Yeah, part of me really, really wants to like it, but it just feels like it's lacking something, and for the life of me, I can't figure out what that something is. I do agree that it is an insanely good portrait shot, which is what's really bringing it up for me.
Is this what the zombies look like in it? It looks like he's infected by some alien virus or some shit.
No, they don't really look like this at all. It just looks cool.
I think the
I'm
thing
thinking
that
probably like an A for this one. It's really fucking sweet. I'm a big fan.
what the character is missing is obviously a coin to flip.
Yeah.
Based on that, I'm gonna give it an A.
I agree with A.
I'm also gonna say A. I like how he's got that nice, bright, shiny blue eye to contrast the despair from the right side.
Yeah,
I do
I
see that
agree.
there's two more of the exact same fucking concept here later in the list, so I'm excited for it to rank the same.
Hitler would have
I'll agree
loved
with
it.
A. I don't. The fuck? Why does this?
So this is also a reoccurring one they'll do where it's like them showing a bunch of different scenes from the issue.
It just looks so goofy.
Yeah, I'm not as big a fan of the art style they're going for with this one here.
Like,
Yeah.
the dude in the center looks more cartoony for whatever reason. His proportions are different than all the other ones. The zombies just kind of look like phantoms for whatever reason. I think it's cool regardless, but it's just too offset from what everything else was so far.
I like this zombie in the top left. He kind of looks like Stink Meaner to me.
Yeah, I can see it.
I think this one's just fine. I'd probably give it a C.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you with C as well.
I agree with C. It's not really super creative.
I'll go C as well.
Fantastic.
We're also in sync.
This one's the same kind of idea where it's scenes from the thing, from the book. I don't like this guy in the foreground here.
Yeah.
I think just something about his face looks off. If he weren't here and it was just everything else, I think I'd like it quite a bit better. But as it stands, I'm probably at like a C for this one.
Just feels like there are too
Yeah.
many clashing ideas of what they wanted to do with this one for me. Because, like, we
Yeah.
have the zombie here, we have the police car, then it's like a comatose dude, and then it's the man in the sun with the house in the background. It's like,
Honestly, I think this could have worked potentially just because they have, like, the transition of colors, except for what Tanner was talking about with that dude. I think he just kind of fucks up with the flow of it, especially because he looks very similar. Maybe they are the exact same dude to the dude that's above him. I don't know. And yeah, I just don't think it works. Honestly, I'm giving this one a fucking D tier.
Yeah, it just
I
feels
think
redundant.
it would have been like a B tier, though, if he wasn't there.
I'll give it a C tier. I agree with your analysis of this, Tanner.
Okay. Alright, next up.
Oh, there we go.
it's in color now.
Oh yeah, that is okay. I didn't even put that together before.
Ow.
I like this significantly more. The colors really help.
It definitely makes it
Tanner
much more
lacks
readable.
basic pattern recognition, apparently.
I guess I'm genuinely surprised I didn't recognize they were the same. I probably only would have included this one had I realized that. I mean, I think this is just a net improvement over the other one, so I'd probably go A.
Yeah, I don't think it's very nice. I was debating S, but I can't quite justify putting it up there, so I'll give it an A as well.
Honestly, I like this one a little bit less than the black and white one. I don't know why. I'm going to say C.
Damn.
I think it still looks neat. I'll give an A.
Okay, what do you
I
think,
think it's
Hunter?
pretty on par with the other one. I don't think it adds too much. I don't know if it bumps it up to an A, so I'll keep it at B.
Probably not.
Okay, sounds like it probably lands at a B then. Alright, next up we got this one. This one's a bit of a different art style from other ones.
There's just a lot of white space they're not using. It feels void, and that kind of takes away from it all, to be honest.
I was gonna say, I feel like if this one were black and white, it would make that work a lot better because, yeah, as I was saying, there's way too much negative space in this one. It makes it feel just very awkward.
Yeah. Also, I think these are probably my least favorite drawn zombies so far. Like, them not having eyeballs and, like, what's up with this one's teeth? They look wrong.
It just
He
feels
has
like...
a massive mouth.
It just feels like... Because it's like... this is a nitpick artist thing, but, like, they're also covering, like, the main dude's face. It just feels like they're hiding details that would otherwise add to this, and that it doesn't... Like, with the white background, it doesn't help that there's details missing.
I kind of disagree with you there. I think it is a cool pose where it's like just the one like corner of his face being shown past the gun and whatnot.
That's fair. I just don't think it works here specifically. Otherwise, I'd agree with you. I don't know. I'd probably give it a C.
Yeah, I'm going C as well.
The way he's posing reminds me of Red Dead Redemption. And for that, I'm going to give it a B.
Hunter, do you
enough,
like
dude.
Red Dead Redemption?
I love Red Dead Redemption.
You fucking would. You scream, oh, I love Red Dead Redemption. That shit kicks ass. I'm a big Uncharted guy who, boy, I rub my nipples while playing Last of Us Part 2.
Anyways, I've never played Last of Us. I just want to be a cowboy sometime.
Yeehaw, motherfucker.
On a steel horse I ride.
I
I guess let's go to the next one.
Oh my god.
Tanner, when are you gonna start giving us, like, cool things to look at, like manga covers?
Yeah, this is an even bigger offense than the last one. I think I'm gonna give
Dude,
this a D.
hot take. I like this one, actually.
I don't like Shaggy standing in a white void with some very oddly drawn zombies. There's just nothing going on
Dude,
here.
I actually really like this kind of style on the zombies. They're very goblin-esque.
I was gonna say, I actually
Probably
do
about
fuck
to
with the
rape this
art.
guy.
I do fuck with the art of the zombies. I think the guy does look a little goofy standing there, and it is pretty boring for the most part. I'm giving it a B, though.
I think I agree with B.
I'll give it a B
There are
too.
two
I like
wolves.
it.
Okay.
I think, like, D for me. I'm not a big fan at all.
Woof. Probably balances out to B, I think. And then this is...
It's just the same one again. You can't fucking trick us. Like, it's not as piss colored, but still.
Yeah, it's like a remaster of the OG.
Just put it in the same one, dude. It looks a little nicer, but, like, come on.
That's fair enough.
The
I
first
don't
one
need
was
to
yellow,
draw
this one's green.
I do think it looks better, to be completely honest. I like
I
the
think it's
contrast
a-
difference.
I think it's a decently noticeable increase. I'd probably bump this one up to an A, personally.
Yeah, I'd also give it an A. I think the
B.
contrast in colors is far superior.
Yeah, I think the color choice is a lot better.
Oh,
We got this one.
okay.
This kind of reminds me of, like, a Goosebumps cover or something.
That's exactly where I was going with this,
Kind
too.
of
I kinda get
understand what
that.
you're saying there. Yeah, I think it's mostly just because of the framing, not necessarily because of the art itself.
I think it's with the hand outstretching to the frame. They
Yeah.
love doing that in
That
Goosebumps.
too.
I think this one's pretty strong.
This is pretty good.
I'm gonna say an A on this one. I think this one's cool.
I agree with my husband.
I disagree with his husband.
You guys are absolutely based for that. I'm gonna also give
I'm
it an
gonna
A.
go A as well. Yeah.
It's kind of a non sequitur, but I do love how high energy we were in the first tier list. In the second one, we immediately are like very
Dude, it's
calmed
like we're
down.
zombies.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is the original cover for issue number 2.
This looks.
I think it's pretty bad, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't. Why does it look so cartoony? The horse, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge
I think I'm
fan.
gonna go D on this one. I think it's really rough.
Yeah, same.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I'd just say C.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if I'd go as far down as D. I think there's definitely some interesting color and like story going on here at least. So I'll give it a C.
And then let's go ahead at the same time. We'll rate the like deluxeified version of it.
Okay.
Changes color
I
scheme.
don't think it's even that much better.
Wait,
to be
wait,
honest.
go back.
Did you change it?
What do you mean? Oh, I haven't put it up on the screen
Oh.
yet.
Oh, okay. I got worried
hold
there
on.
for a second.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. Like, why were you talking about, like, it did change? Okay. Yeah, this one's fucking... It's, like, a little bit better, but I still just don't really care for it.
I think it's a fairly lateral move. I think it's just like I don't like the framing or like it's just not hitting me very much.
I think the colors are more appropriate for the setting that they're trying to introduce, at least. I think the
They
other one was
shouldn't
a
have
little...
made it so like the horse is doing the stanky leg like that.
I'd probably still put it in the same tier, though. I don't think it's middle of the road. I still think it's a goofy animation style for it.
Yeah, I'm doing D on both.
Yeah.
Based, me too.
I agree.
Everyone else yell your numbers at me.
64.
Your letters. Your letters,
Nine.
I'm sorry.
H,
D.
U.
D.
C.
Alright, we're gonna slap them in D then.
It just doesn't feel like there's much going on.
I
Right.
agree.
Then here is the deluxe one for issue 2.
Okay.
I think this is a massive
I
improvement.
actually really like
absolutely.
that.
I don't remember what the other one was, so I'll take your word for it.
It was the one we just looked at.
It's that... Oh. Holy shit.
Yeah, the one we just did was the original issue 2 cover. This is the issue 2 cover for the deluxe edition.
What the fuck were they thinking?
Yes, is a substantial improvement. I'm giving an A.
I will also give it
Same.
an A. This is much more apt to what's going on in the story at this moment in time.
I'm gonna go S on this one, honestly. I think it's a cool shot with them taking down the horse there in the background and the one climbing towards him and whatnot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with respect to the horse, I'm going to have to go S as well.
Okay, and then we got our next dead face. This one is Glenn, though. Speaking of Invincible, it's Stephen Yun.
I don't know. This is about same as the other one. It's nothing crazy different.
I don't like this one as much. The guy doesn't have nearly as much detail on his face.
It's because he's Asian.
Well, I was gonna say it's because of the hat.
The contrast between the two sides are a lot higher too. Like especially on his neck, it doesn't look very good.
I think it's a lateral move, personally, and I'd probably say that for the next one as well. So I'll go A.
I'm giving it B.
Yeah, I'm giving it a B.
I'll give it a B. Actually, you've convinced me.
Okay, let's go ahead and do the third similar one as well while we're at it. So this one is Lori.
I like this one better than the previous one, but still not quite reaching the highs of the man, so I'm gonna give it a B.
I'm also
Yeah.
gonna give it a B.
I think it's just like the blue eyeball for Rick is just a really good choice for this kind of image.
Yeah. I would say I probably would post on par with the first one. I think the transition between both sides works a lot better, and there's a lot more detail, I feel, just in general. Like her hair looks really good.
Yeah.
Fellas, how many beers?
1 million.
1 million beers.
A million billion.
We got good old Glenn right there up in the foreground. Everyone loves Glenn, right?
He's pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely. I'm the biggest Glenn fan. He's a Yankees fan, my boy, repping the Yanks.
And he lives in Atlanta. Very confusing.
It has a brim.
Nice. I
What's
do.
this guy's shirt say? Oh, that's just the artist's signature.
Oh, that's fun.
That's
Lame.
cute.
I do like how this comic cover is sectioned off, and I like how it's sectioned off primarily by him for the most part. I think that's really nice, and I like how there's a contrast of colors, but nothing like extreme. Like they all still match.
I do like when they do like the cutoffs with a character dividing the frame, but the top just looks kind of goofy because of that. It's like we got
Yeah.
some fucking disembodied zombie head gods peering down on him.
One
deciding
thing I
his
will
fate.
actually say about those, though, that looks nice is that, like, this dude on the right and then the chick on the left, you'll see that, like, their shirts blend in very well with, like, the scenery below them.
Right.
That
Man,
is a nice detail.
Yeah.
I think I want to give this an A, but I don't know.
Personally, I'm just thinking a B.
Yeah, I
I'll
think a
say
B as well.
I'll give it a B. That's what I was leaning more towards.
Hunter,
Fair
do you guys
enough.
ever do tier lists over on Hidden Insecurities, your famous, illustrious podcast?
I don't think we've done a tier list before, but maybe I need to bring some up.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you guys were to do a tier list, what kind do you think you'd go for?
Probably the
Disciples, that could be a fun one.
top Hollywood actors we think could kill a baby or something like that.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
gosh.
Are there any that couldn't?
I'm sure that.
I think
You
it's,
mean like mentally could?
yeah, I mean, they're like Danny DeVito's
Okay.
not hurting a child.
Yeah.
But Bruce Willis, you know he'd do it in a heartbeat if there was
Yeah.
a fat paycheck in it for him.
And then he'd immediately forget about it.
Anyways.
So.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Jesus. Anyways.
Anyway.
Whatever that means. Zoinks.
Impossible to say.
I think this one is okay until you look at the kid and the wife's faces.
It is so fucking goofy, dude. I don't vibe with this cover at all. It's
the big
so bad.
problem is they're identical.
Yeah, they just fucking
copy-pasted the
copy and
faces.
pasted the faces.
That's really bad.
Why do I feel like that horse is gonna be like, sit down, son, I need to have a talk with you? That's the kind
Yeah, it looks like you're about to run them down with it.
It's very humanistic horse.
There's just so much, like, nonverbal
It does
wrongs
kind of
with
just
this
look
cover.
like he's about to run over the kids and the horse, so he's got this grim look of, it's gotta be done.
Pretty much. There's a zombie there. It has
gotta
to be
run
done. There's
over
no
my
other
kitty.
way.
I'm giving it C.
I'm either a C or a D. I think it's...
I don't think it's as offensive as D. I saved that for another one. I'll give it a C, because there's at least something going on. I just think it's funny how offensively Asian they made Glenn in this cover
It's
compared to
really
the other.
bad.
What does that even mean?
What do you mean, what does that mean? Look...
He's got stretch marks by his eyelids.
They gave him, like, a patchy facial hair as well.
That's
Alright,
Yeah.
Tanner, big question here. Do you think we will have a single S tier at the end of this?
I think so.
Okay.
And I think it might just be this one.
I'm giving this one a B.
I don't
I
know.
think this one's friggin' sick, dude. I love this one.
I like...
I wish the city was a little bit more run down, you know?
Did 9/11 happen in the Walking Dead universe?
Presumably.
Well, obviously not.
I don't think it had time to, dude. That's how the zombie invasion started, dude. They crashed a plane into the buildings and it was carrying the zombie virus. Everybody knows that.
That
They
makes
hit
sense,
the second
dude.
virus.
Oh my gosh.
COVID-20.
I've realized looking through these, I really messed with this guy, Julian Totino Tedesco's art. So if I do another one of these, I think I'll just find a bunch of art by that guy specifically.
He makes the pizza
I
rolls, right?
do like the smudge in this. I think smudge on comic books is really nice, especially done properly. Especially when you've got like a haze covering the city. Like adds ambiguity, because that's pretty much what the entire series is about. You run into a city, you don't know what's there for you. This is at least
I'm going
an A
S
for
on
me.
this one.
I'm almost S tier. Fuck it, I'll give it an S. We don't have an S. There was
Holy
one
cow.
earlier I want to put an S tier. We moved on past it.
Yeah, I'll give it like a B, I think.
B.
There are two
Then-
wolves in the Guapish
Jackson,
podcast.
did you mean that B, or were you just trying to hurt me?
No, I legitimately mean that B.
God
Holy cow.
damn.
Hunter, what do you
I am
think?
trying to hurt you, B.
Oh my god. Jesus.
B. Derogatory. This is the OG cover for issue 3.
Man, I don't like this
B.
Gorillas-esque art style.
I don't think this is anywhere near Gorillas, but I'll give it a C.
I don't know. That's just what I get. I'm gonna give it a C
The
regardless.
wife's face is rough, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, why the long face?
It's her aunt. How did the husband and the wife both have long faces? You got a kid with a round ass face. How does that work?
He got no.
Anyway.
He has no chin at all. It's just rounded. This is a D. This is really bad.
I think I agree with D. Hold
I
on,
agree
here's
with my
the
husband.
color corrected version. It's
C.
It looks like a trading card more than anything else.
That's worse.
honestly, I think I might be D on the original, C on the recolor. I do think it's a marked improvement.
I definitely flip that. I don't agree with that. I think the colors help it, if anything.
I do
That's
like the
what I
recolor. I do like the recolor more. I think the big thing I don't like about the original one that I think the new one improves on is that it doesn't have the weird fucking radiation glow around the characters that just looks
I wasn't
wonky.
really paying attention to that. Hold on. Oh. I don't know. I just feel like it lacking the colors that the first... I agree, the radiation glow is weird, but I feel like the second one lacking the colors the first one has, like, takes away from it, to be completely honest, at least to me.
That's fine. So yeah, I'm going the original D, recolor C. What Dylan, what are you saying?
Original C, recolor D.
Jackson?
What you said.
Both
Nico?
C.
Hunter?
They're both D's for me.
Okay, I think
that's how
I'm
they
gonna
say it.
Leave them
where
there,
they
who
are.
cares?
Yeah. Here is the deluxe edition, issue 3.
This feels it's like a panel out of it and not like a cover.
I kind of see what you're saying.
I don't know. I think this is a pretty solid. I like how it's showing emotions with the colors, because you got the guy in the background. He's all like he's losing his color.
Yeah, he's in like blue, cool colors, and then they're in like redder, more warm colors.
Yeah, because if you know anything about this show, you know what's happening here. Or I guess the comic.
Show.
The comic. I'm sorry, Tanner. I've only watched the show.
Fair enough.
I think this is a pretty solid cover, though. This has a nice emotional tie-up, so I'll give it an A.
Are they macking out right now?
Oh, yeah.
No.
They're going at it.
Do you know people who make out with their teeth out, Hunter? I think not. Reconsider.
Make out with their teeth
Don't
out.
judge me.
Oh, I'm sorry, my dude. I didn't mean it. I take it back.
I'm making an LMFAO cover band, and that's my first song.
I'll give it an A.
Make out with teeth out?
Yeah, make out with their teeth out. Yeah, I agree with A.
Let's go.
Here we go.
I don't like it. I don't like how it looks like he has laser rounds. Like, there's tracer bullets, but that's not how that works. God, this is so weird. What's up with the kid's face? What is going on here? I am so perturbed by this cover, actually. Hold on.
Dude, he's terrified.
That
That's
doesn't
not
look
a terrified
terrified.
face. That's a fucking derp face, dude. I don't care.
He's like, wow.
Is this Guardians of the Galaxy? I'm a little confused right now.
This
It definitely feels like it's. I'm assuming it's inspired by like Army of Darkness.
the tone of this cover doesn't match itself. The man is just smiling. He's assumingly having a good time. I don't know what the fuck that kid's expression is. I think the art style's fine, but it's just it looks goofy because there's too many different things going on.
Yeah, it's whatever. I'll give it a B.
I agree with B.
I'll
I
give
agree
it a
with B.
I'm gonna go C. I just don't like it that much.
Huh.
The kid's face is terrible, dude.
It's
Why'd they give him lips like that?
kind of reminds me of The Incredibles for some reason.
Behind him, is that the dad from fucking Venture Bros?
It's a very good one, dude. It just might be.
Yeah, I don't really know. I'm confused with what this cover's trying to portray.
Kid looking sad. I'm saying B.
He's so sad. There's so many zombies. Yeah, I'll give it a C tier.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd go so C.
I think I'm gonna agree with C just because, like, I like everything except this kid. I think his face looks really weird.
Tanner likes everything except a kid. That's a first.
Oh,
I feel like that's
does
all
that
of you guys,
mean?
but whatever that means.
Whatever that
Damn.
means.
Yeah, fuck it.
Okay.
Huh. This is another one of those weird ones.
This is probably my favorite of these ones.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
I think it's pretty solid facial expressions on Old Man and Shane. The zombie feels very out of place in the picture, though.
Yeah, I do not like that part. I do agree this is probably my favorite of the options so far. I'm going to give it a B.
Yeah, I agree with B.
Yeah, I think B.
I can get behind a B.
I'll give it an A.
Here we go.
I do not fuck with this art style at all.
Dude, here's the thing.
hell?
I think this up here, the portrait of him, I actually really like the art style on that section. This down here, I hate, and I think it looks bad. If it was just him, I think it would be really strong.
But, like, what about that little picture he's holding? They
I
look
was
like
gonna say,
fucking
look at the
Muppets or
picture
something.
he's holding.
I think it looks kind of... I don't know. I like it, man. I think it's a little funny.
They don't
Looks
even
like
have
some
noses.
Newgrounds characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
used to look like a thumb, but now because of the zombie apocalypse, I don't.
He kind of looks like the bear from Open Season.
Yeah,
I'm not getting that
I don't
one.
know.
Mike.
What is he throw on about?
That's just I'm getting bugged right now. I don't know.
I don't.
that's a little
see
bit
it.
of a stretch. I mean, I've made some asinine comments as well, so I can understand his plea here. I'm gonna say D tier though, honestly.
What is up with this zombie that's like grabbing onto him? It's just mouth.
He's
He blew
hungry.
his face off.
Wood.
Also,
gee.
I thought that shit in the top right corner was like some kind of kid's drawing. I'm just now realizing I think that's supposed to be like a zombie face
it's
or
a
a
weird
soul or something.
Yeah, it's a weird skull. I don't know
Like,
what's going on with that either. It's a real bummer because, again, I really like the portrait. Everything else on it, I don't really like. So I think I have to go down to a B.
I mean, even then, even with the guy, I'm not the biggest fan of that either, so I'm still going to give it a D.
Okay.
I'll go C on that one.
Nico?
Yeah, like a C, I think, too.
Okay.
It's fine, I guess. This is gonna be
It's
another
intense
B
enough.
for me.
Yeah, this is another B tier.
It's fine. The big problem I have, I think it's solid framing and whatever, and it's kind of a cool action shot, but Rick's face is just something ain't right about that boy.
If it's not one thing, it's the other with these comics covers, apparently. I don't know.
I'm giving it a C. I don't care for this one that much.
Yeah.
Fair enough, dude.
I'm gonna land at a B.
All this last one looks solid.
This one is my favorite of the bunch. I'm glad it randomly wound up as last.
Oh,
I do think this is by far the strongest one we've seen.
I love that it's like made to look like a watercolor painting where you
Yeah.
can see the brush strokes and stuff.
yeah, I agree. There's a
I
child.
think it's a solid pose. The zombies are pretty well detailed. I think this one's an easy S personally.
Yeah, I agree. This is an easy S tier for me.
I'm so glad they didn't have the big fucking The Walking Dead in that stupid font at the very top that would have fucking ruined it. I agree. I think this is the best one by far. I'm going to say S tier as well.
Yeah, I think that if we're gonna have an S tier, it's gonna be this one.
There we go.
Fantastic. What do you think, Hunter?
I mean, yeah, it looks super S.
Radical. And there you guys have it.
Jesus.
Many of the covers for the first 3 issues of The Walking Dead and Walking Dead Deluxe. Thank you for joining us.
Oh yeah.
Boo!
What a brutal tier list. This was like the first
True.
run of the fucking DC cover tier list.
We're just massive haters, dude.
No, Dylan, is the second run. That was the rough one. The first one was fine.
The second was a rough one? Okay,
Yeah.
well, you knew what I meant.
Guapish at the movies!
Guapish at the movies.
I don't remember any. I didn't note any music this week. I'm sorry. Hold on, we'll get this.
Was there a song in 28 Days Later?
I don't. I'm gonna say no. I'm sure there was probably something of note in Waiting, but I don't remember anything from that movie.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, when Jackson was listening to Waiting, he was just like blasting the movie in his room, and so I just heard like some fucking, some of that fucking, what's the word for it? It's not gay rock, butt rock. That's what it is. I just heard some like butt rock blare, and I was like, I messaged Jackson. I was like, holy shit, are you listening to good music right now? And then, unfortunately, it transitioned to the actual movie, and I was like, oh, never mind.
That's funny.
What did we watch this week?
The Patreon pick, as requested by our lovely Patreon Jay, thank you for the request, was the 2005 film Waiting... And this is a movie of all time. And if you also want to get your movie requested, you can go to guaps.com/Patreon for $1 a month. Get a movie in the queue, and we'll watch it eventually. And now I'm going to describe this movie. It's Waitstaff, the film. Anyways, Tanner, what's your fun fact?
Fun fact, the pubic shot was some nearby stripper in a crotch wig.
The what shot?
The one where the girl pulls her skirt up and she has a big hairy bush.
Oh my god.
That's pretty
Hell
fun.
Anyway.
I think this movie it's okay. I think it's just kind of fun.
And because of that, what are you ranking it?
Oh yeah, C+.
Okay. Dylan, what about you, dude?
This movie is my antithesis. This is the exact opposite of my everyday life and how I do things. I gave it a B- though.
Okay. I give it a C personally. Jackson, how about you?
I'm going to be honest, I enjoyed this movie more than I expected to. I gave it a B- currently.
Let's go, fucking based. Anyway, so waitstaff life, am I right?
So why is Ryan Reynolds a pedophile? And why is that such a big part of his character?
And why does everyone treat it as so normal?
And like encourage others to do it too.
Let's get one thing straight. I don't think he actually was. I think that was the one bit. I think it was just like an act that he put on to seem like he had something kooky and interesting about him.
What? What are you saying?
There was a part of the movie, because There were at the very end when they were like at the party, he went back to the room with the girl. He like was like, "Oh, could we just say that I had sex with you?" And then ended up not actually having sex with her.
I think that, like, if at the start of the movie that scenario happened, he would have had sex with her. But because he learned and grew throughout the film, it was like, oh, look at that. He wouldn't have sex with an underage girl. Isn't that great?
He also still made out with an underage girl knowing she's underage.
I guess that's fair. I don't know. I guess in my mind I wanted to believe it was a bit because of how I am. I'm sorry. Anyway. I don't know, Ryan Reynolds plays kind of the same character in every movie I see him in, so it's not a big shocker for him to have such an out-there kind of role.
Jackson, did this movie really take you back?
Yeah, shockingly, a lot of the dynamics in this movie did remind me a lot of my time at McMinimans. And shockingly, I feel like the actual acting of people was pretty good in the scenarios they were putting them in. Like, it did feel like a little snippet of a workday at a busy restaurant. A lot of just their, like, little minor things just added up to be a very convincing performance for me overall, even though it is still a pretty cheesy, what's the word I'm thinking of? Gross.
Disgusting,
comedy.
vile.
For sure. Dude,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you how relatable this was for you. I do recall having, like, memories of working back in a restaurant as well. Nothing nearly this extreme. I remember looking at some of the shit, I'm like, some of the shit is so exaggerated and the shenanigans going on would never actually happen, but I think just for the purpose of this movie as a comedy, it just works so well and adds to the comedy of, like, none of the surrounding people are noticing this is happening. That's very silly.
Dylan, did you mean to make that joke, by the way? You said shenanigans? That's the name of the restaurant in the film?
Oh, you're right! I did the thing on accident. That's funny.
Holy shit.
The being a good waiter to a table of people and then they give you a card and it's just for another job at a different restaurant as a fucking vibe. That happened to me like 3 times. I'm not even kidding.
That happened? Oh, that never happened to me. Unfortunate.
Damn.
You're just better than me. It's okay.
Yeah, but a lot of the stuff, all the interpersonal relationship, and I think it's funny with, like, the training video, like, don't do that, and we also had the exact same thing in our trainings, yet, like, half the wait staff were dating each other. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
The dumb kitchen shenanigans constantly, they're all a bunch of fucking loser sleazebags. That's very similar to all the kitchen staff I had to work with. I don't know if I'd go as far as the weird fucking balls and dick game they were playing. I don't think mine were doing anything like that. The fucking dishwasher always trying to be like some fucking I'm super smart and deep person, but they're kind of just retarded. Very consistent with that as well. A lot of dishwashers like that.
Yeah.
Jalon types, I like to call them personally.
A pseudo-intellectual, if you were.
Yeah, where they think they're really smart, but they're not. I mean, I guess in this movie he was smart, but, like, if he was that smart, he shouldn't have been a fucking dishwasher. That's just me. But,
I think that's the irony of the situation.
The fucking pissed off screaming girl that should have been promoted. I've worked with a lot of people like that too. That's a shit's vibe.
Yeah.
Getting stiff constantly. A lot of relatable humor. I think they do the acting well, and it was fucking surprisingly funny. I think mostly just because I related to a lot of it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm blessed to have never had to work at a fucking restaurant like that, so definitely didn't relate to it quite on that level, but...
I do like I guess I'll say one more thing here. I'm just going to be the one that says everything about this movie. Just like the messaging about like the people's places in life and the main characters that we're following primarily. His just like outlook on everything. I do like all of that. I think it's interesting that he went to like find his path and not get stuck in somewhere he didn't want to be. I do like the fucking twist around with the kind of douchebag guy he knew. Especially, I feel like I've had moments where like I'm being a waiter, and like somebody tries to have like a comment or a conversation with me at a table, and they're mostly just trying to jack themselves off. They don't really give a shit about me.
Yeah.
That's happened to me a couple of times too. Very relatable. I did like the turnaround on that, where he was like a good guy in some manner in the end.
Yeah, you could say it's a coming of age story, Jackson. However, I feel like Take Me Home Tonight did it better personally.
Dude, that movie sucks though.
True. Yeah, I think this is a fine film. It's decently funny. My big problem was just like
all the pedophile stuff.
Plot-wise, it was pretty messy. It kind of just becomes like it almost feels like a movie 43 thing, except like it's all in the restaurant, but where you're just cutting to all these different groups of people getting in different hijinks or whatever.
There is no rising action in this movie. It's literally just watching people live a day in the life of a waiter at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Very immersive.
Yeah. But that's all my thoughts on this one.
There you go.
Awesome.
Well, boys, were you ready to rank this one?
Oh yeah, I'm sticking with a C+.
Yeah.
I'm stick with my C.
Hell yeah.
I'm also sticking with my B-. I will probably lower it later, but right now it's still sitting high in my mind.
Yeah, later you're gonna be going through your ranks and be like, what? Why the fuck did I put waiting at a B-?
True.
Yeah, presumably. And it lands at a C+, unsurprisingly.
Whoa.
How exciting.
Fantastic. What else did we watch?
Nico picked the 2008 film Gurren Lagann, the movie, Childhood End, the recap of the first half of the Gurren Lagann anime. Please run us down the plot of this film.
Alrighty, boys. So, anime is a Japanese colloquialism which comes from the shortening of the word animation. For the most part in Japanese, anime is synonymous. So, Gurren Lagann is a mecha that actually involves mecha fighting. That's pretty rare in the genre, shockingly. And the story features the humans Simone and Kamina as they pilot mechs and fight off the evil beastmen who have conquered the surface of the earth. But then Kamina dies, which is very sad. But, at least Simone gets a hot girlfriend at the end of it.
Spoilers.
Fun fact, the director also directed Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Oh.
Cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Right now, I'm sitting at a B.
Wow.
What?
Dylan, where are you putting it?
I gave this shit a C-.
Hater, fucking piece of shit. This guy does not know
Fuck
hype
you.
when he sees it. I give it a B as well.
Yeah, I also gave it a B.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm the lowest out of everybody here. That's insane.
Yeah, why is that, Dylan? Why didn't you like this movie?
Dude, you might as well have told me that this is the entirety of the first season. There was so much going on and so little detail. It really just felt so rushed, and I didn't understand anything that was going on. I felt like I should have been emotionally attached to some characters, and I just didn't get emotionally attached to any characters. I get that I'm supposed to give a shit about Kamina, but I just didn't, but I know I should have. And it's just there's nothing that makes sense. It wasn't properly set up. I didn't, the pace was so fast I couldn't get into the movie, and I couldn't care less what happened. And it was just, the animation was also just whatever. Not all the characters. Most of the characters were all animated differently also. There wasn't a set way every one of them were animated, which was also jarring to me. They all looked different, and they all looked like they weren't animated the same. I don't know what to say. I didn't really particularly enjoy this movie. It was too nonsensical to me.
Dude, I thought this was a fun movie. I thought it has a pretty solid story. I think the Kamina sacrifice hits pretty hard, honestly. My biggest problem was that recap montage segment. That felt
so boring.
That felt bad.
It was very
and
bad.
I think we probably could have just cut it out of the film entirely, to be honest.
It would have made more sense, because it just made us feel like we were missing out on so much.
How would it have made more sense? They suddenly have a bunch of fucking people with them out of nowhere.
Yeah, it would have made more sense, because then if we saw that, it made me feel like I missed out on a ton of things. And then, yeah, they were just there, and I'm like, okay, so no context. There's just a bunch of people here.
What the fuck are you saying right now?
That they should have just cut the montage out?
Yeah, but how... But your complaint is that you're... I don't even know how to address this. He is so ass backwards
Well, then let's move on
the
from
logic
it.
he's trying to apply here. I don't even know how to counteract this.
Then let's move on.
If you got rid of the montage, you would have zero context for why they have a bunch of friends. The montage showed you snippets of context. So how do you feel like there's no context now, and getting rid of the montage would not still negatively affect that?
To me, they might as well have not had the montage. That's how
I
ineffective
agree with
it
my
was on me.
husband. I think the pacing is easily this movie's biggest problem, and it does what Main Abyss tried doing a lot worse, but also you have to give it a little bit more slack because it is adapting twice the content.
It's 14 episodes is what they're adapting here.
Yeah, that's a lot of content for a movie, and it unfortunately suffers greatly because of that. Yeah, this movie is basically just the action scenes and some of the bigger plot points happening. I would disagree with the Kamina statement. I think because of the rushed nature of it, I think Kamina is like a fun character, but I felt actually nothing about his death because we just barely had any fucking time with him. Like, if you had watched the anime, you'd have like extra 5 or 6 episodes or something to spend time with this character, watch him interact with the main character. I honestly just didn't give a shit. Honestly, it kind of sucks because I could probably see myself liking watching the actual anime of this, but now that I know he dies, that kind of takes off the initial impact of it for me. Yeah. It makes me a little bit less inclined to want to watch it, and it just retroactively hurts the anime personally. But yeah, it was a very, very messy film. So much shit going on without a ton of context around it because of the nature of it being super insanely fucking rushed with its pacing. And yeah, I think the animation is really good though. That elevates it a lot. I think the characters are fun and creative. I think the interactions with the enemies and just the designs overall, from an artistic perspective, I think this movie's great. But that's basically all that's going for it. And as you can tell, it's a lot going for it because I give it a B still, not lower.
I mean, I definitely agree with pretty much everything Jackson just said, but I do want to talk about the characters a little bit here, because I do find them to be very interesting, especially the character of Kamina, the fantastic man himself. Kamina is amazing. He embodies the sort of manliness, okay? Just everything about what it means to be a man. He provides that spark that sets him on a blaze and guides him on the path of becoming a man himself. And Kamina refusing to back down even in the face of certain death is this amazing quality of him, makes him a great leader that everyone looks to him for inspiration for, but also it ultimately ends up getting him killed because of that. But he still ends up doing that big ass fucking cool drill thing, which is kick ass. And I gotta say, I mean, I'm sure that the fact that I've watched the anime has definitely colored my views of that entire section much more than your guys's, but with Tanner, I felt a little emotional when Kamina was dying. That it wasn't even necessarily the scene where okay, yeah, he's actually dead now and Simone's mourning him or whatever. It was during that big bombastic scene where they're talking about oh, we're gonna be the fucking drill that pierces through the heavens and shit like that, as they're fucking taking down these big old bad guys. Just that part, just how fucking emotional it was, it got me going a little bit, man.
I wish I could relate.
Unfortunately for the Kamina scene too, I had jokingly made a comment about when Yoko was oh yeah, we're gonna kiss or something when you get back from this fight, and I was death flag, and then he fucking died, and I just thought it was funny, honestly, and that kind of ruined it. That kind of ruined it for me. But yeah, again, that just didn't work on me at all, unfortunately. I feel we just didn't have enough time with him. I think it was a fun character, but honestly, I felt more impact of not him dying, but just the reaction of our main character to his death. I think that worked a decent amount, even with the small amount I had, especially near the end, when he was trying to save, what's her name? Fucking cloud hair chick.
Yeah, Nia, I think.
Yeah.
I like that part.
Yeah. And Nia's also great, while Kamina is important as a source of inspiration for Simone, it's Nia who gets him to become his own man and not just following Kamina's shoes.
Yeah, I like her. I do think it's weird how quick everybody is to just take in literally a princess of the people they're trying to, be in a fucking war. Granted, she seems very pure of heart and all of this, but people are very chill with that. I know they had the big scene of interviewing her and trying to fucking poke around what's going on, but I don't feel they had as much conflict as I would have anticipated with literally just bringing in an enemy princess into their ranks.
Yeah, I mean, they do pretty much immediately get attacked after that, so
True.
They don't have a ton of time to really scrutinize her that much.
Anyways, who's the baddest bitch of them all, guys? Personally, I'm saying the scorpion chick. I think she's hot as fuck.
Tanner, I'm assuming you're a big Yoko guy.
I mean, out of the options, yeah.
You 14-year-olds, huh? Is that what you're saying right now?
Yeah, exactly. Is Yoko 14?
Yes.
Oh God.
Yoko's great though too, guys. Yoko's the very embodiment of Simone's lustful attraction. He falls for Yoko so hard that when he sees that she's in love with Kamina instead of him, it fucking destroys him to the point where he's now crestfallen and he can't properly pilot his mech, which also in turn leads to Kamina's death.
I genuinely didn't even realize he had any other level of attraction. I mean, he thought she was some hot chick, but I didn't realize he was head over fucking heels with her at all. And I realized he was fucked up about it, but I honestly, mostly when I was watching him be fucked up and fumble piloting his mech, I was they fucking didn't portray him as head over heels as you're trying to imply for me. That I was genuinely like, I assume it's because he's fucked up about watching them be close to each other, but also like I don't understand why, and it felt kind of dumb to me, and that also probably leads into why I didn't have as much impact about Kamena's death.
Yeah, the very unfortunate part of this being truncated down so much is that you do lose pretty much all emotional depth that the series is known for, and so it does end up making the film feel more like just kind of a best of highlight reel for it, rather than like really much of a cohesive film.
I will say this movie successfully made me interested in watching the anime.
That's hype, dude. I think that you would enjoy it substantially more than you'd enjoy watching the anime for Made in Abyss.
Is Kamina also 14?
I think he's like 15 or 16.
That's
There's
fucking
no way.
insane.
Yeah.
That's
I
absurd.
consider watching the anime, but I agree with Jackson in the sense of, now that I know that Kamina just dies in the first half, I feel like that's like a driving force for the anime, and I don't know, if this movie didn't spark enough interest for me to want to watch the series. I even asked Jackson afterwards, I was like, you think if I went and watched the anime, do you think the anime is better? And he's like, yeah, probably, but not by much. And I was like, all right, cool.
Not by much.
I
Fuck
don't
you.
think. I think he's mistaking my words. I think I would say you would absolutely like the anime better. He's definitely misquoting me.
I think anyway.
I'm gonna go find it. You can keep thinking about this. I'm gonna go find it.
I don't know if it was text chat, my guy. Unfortunately, it might have been. I don't know.
I'm gonna try and find it. I don't think I said that.
Go
Just
for it.
smirching his good name. He's trying to rectify the record.
Do we have any other thoughts on the film?
I don't think so. I think I said all that can be said. I was the Jackson in this review where he was in waiting. I was for Gurren Lagann, Childhood's End. But guys, it only goes up from here. The next movie is going to be crazy. It's the big climax of everything. All of your questions will be answered.
Whoa.
Yeah. But as for our ratings, I'm keeping it at B.
Okay. I'm also keeping it at a B.
I'm also keeping it at a B.
I'm gonna leave it at a C-. I did find the part of the conversation about the plot being rushed and Jackson saying he's gonna hold Nico to this hard as fuck, so...
What does that even mean?
That also has nothing to do with why you brought up you two having a conversation.
I'm gonna cuddle Nico after this.
I'm trying to find the thing of Amis. I think it was a voice chat thing.
Yeah, we did talk about it. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I just said that you would like the anime more than the movie. The anime would be a substantial improvement. Because, again, my big gripe with this is the fucking pacing is dog shit because they just try to rush too much in too little time. And if you have all that context, I think it would make it a much better and more cohesive experience. And it landed at a B- because of that, which honestly I think is probably kind of generous, even though I literally gave it a B.
Fair enough. I'll be honest, I was nervous with the opening sequence because I was like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on, and I was worried
Same.
it was gonna be me being confused the entire time.
Dude, I got Warframe vibes.
The whole show's pacing, like Nico said to me while we were watching it, not to you guys specifically or the audience, is that it's just very fast-paced in general. So we have like a fast-paced show layered on with it trying to adapt way too much in way too little time, and it was just like a clusterfuck if you're not keeping up. Also, another fun fact, Yoko is 2 years older than Rico.
Huh.
How about that?
Insane.
I just think that's a fun thing to visualize.
That is very fun.
They make their kids look so grown up. What the fuck?
And they make their kids look too much like kids. You know, maybe it really doesn't matter in the end. Maybe it's all just the artist's discretion.
I guess so, dude.
That is something to think about now, isn't it?
I'm tapping my forehead right now. Cut all this out, Nico. Anyways, the final movie we watched this week was the 2002 film 28 Days Later, as requested by Tanner. Please tell us about it.
That's right. 28 Days Later is a zombie story. We see some monkeys kill some people, then a guy wakes up in a hospital, and then he's wandering around zombie-infested London. He's like, "Oi, what's all this then?" And there's zombies, and then he meets a lady, and then he meets a child, and then he takes them to a mansion, and they almost get raped, and then he saves them in the end. Fun fact, the director exclusively casted athletes to play the infecteds because he thought they'd look cooler or something.
Okay.
Dude, this movie copied the intro of The Walking Dead.
I was gonna make that fucking joke, you stupid bum bitch bastard.
Tanner, did you notice at the beginning of this film, it seems to be rather reminiscent of the beginning of The Walking Dead?
I'm gonna shove both your heads in your own toilet. I am currently sitting at... I'm in between an S and an S minus.
Oh my god.
Jackson, how about you?
I am significantly lower than you. I give this a C plus currently.
Oh, thank God. Jesus.
I'm thinking like a B minus.
Nico, I'm glad you said that. I also said B minus, and I thought I was about to get fucking nailed to a cross because I've been fumbling these rankings
You'll
all
still
week.
get nailed to a cross. Like, let's not make any mistakes here. You guys are absolutely cracked.
And Tanner's always complaining. He's like, I don't rate the classics high. What are you talking about?
Dude, there's plenty of instances where that hasn't happened. I only rate the good classics high.
Yeah.
I want to speak my piece first. Please shut up, Tanner.
Let
Thank
me
you.
say my piece first.
Motherfucker, that defeats the point of me saying I want to say my piece first.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so basically, I'm very conflicted on this movie. I say this a lot when I was watching it with Nico, but this movie does a lot of things really well, but it also does a lot of things really poorly. Specifically, like that opening sequence I think is really fucking good, where they have the music and the rising action and intensity when the main character is trying to like figure out more about his scenario, and then it climaxes with like a very intense feeling, like, you know, rush down with the zombies and him trying to escape. I think it's very well done. It has a lot of really cool scenes and interesting cinematography they do throughout the entire film. Like the fucking rain scene when he's like a covert operative trying to take down this fucking like military squad. I think a lot of the cinematography for that was pretty sweet. A lot of just cool shots. Interestingly made movie for the most part, especially with what they were doing. Like, this is a pretty low budget movie, and I think they made great use of their budget for the most part. But also, there's just a lot of issues I have with the plot, pacing, and just general tone of it. Like, the whole mid part of the movie felt very fucking weird to me, where it's just like very like low stakes for the most part. They're kind of just fucking around. It felt like they didn't really understand the scenario they were in, or they acting like it was lesser than it truly was, especially like the battle-hardened woman she was with, or they were with. I feel like she would be the like kind of voice of reason in this group, but she wasn't really acting like that at all. She was just kind of like acting like the rest of them, and it felt very tonally dissonant for me, unfortunately. And yeah, the movie is just like, it has its highs that are pretty good, but it also has a lot of really dumb, stupid fucking lows. Also, even just like the idea of our main character going like fucking SEAL Team 6 on the enemies was pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah, that just like last third act was pretty a little. I was about to say dismal. That's not a word, but you know what I'm trying to get across. It wasn't great.
I'm very conflicted because I see the potential in this movie, and I'm definitely curious about learning more about the world they're trying to portray, because I do like the idea of like the things after the apocalypse and trying to live within that society. I think they're interesting concepts. And yeah, I don't know. I'm very conflicted because I wanted to like this movie more than I did, because it does have a lot of those really cool, interesting scenes that I liked a lot, but also it just has so many detractors for me that it brings me down a lot.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said, to be honest. I will say the things that you thought were good, I liked more than you, I think, and the things you thought were bad, I didn't hate as much as you, is probably what's happening there. I think the biggest thing this movie does fantastic is atmosphere. It is super atmospheric, just like all these shots of him wandering around a completely abandoned London. One scene that really just, and I'm sure you guys would agree, stands out in my mind is when he enters the church. And it's when he first sees some infected, where he goes hello, and then just those two in the crowd go, and then just like fucking lock onto him.
It scared the shit out of me.
Dude, that actually gave me chills when I watched it. Is such a well done moment. I agree with what you're saying on sort of the middle section, where I think there's some weird choices on specifically the music they're playing and kind of the tone. It's a lot lighter than you'd think it should be.
Yeah.
Which it can be kind of interesting, but
they're trying to make you really feel
bit...
like they're a family now. This is like a good group of people. They all love each other.
And then they kill their dad in the dumbest way possible 10 minutes later.
That's also I struggle on how I feel about that one too, because I agree it's like, damn, that sucks that he just went out randomly like that, but that also kind of plays into like that's just kind of what this world is. You can go at a moment's notice. The moment where like the one dude that he initially met gets infected and she just fucking... at first I thought she was cutting his arm off, but no, she just fucking murked that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. I was very caught off guard with that.
That was a very intense scene.
Just to not lose the thread here too with the fucking dad dying thing. I think mostly the thing that fucks me up about that scene over anything else is like they're fucking around this like little like entrance to this base for a while there. And the people, like the military guys, just aren't doing anything until the guy gets infected, and then they start just fucking blasting him. All of this could have been resolved if they just came out of hiding earlier or something, but they take a very long time to do that. Maybe you could explain, maybe they're waiting to see what they do or something, but like it just seems dumb and kind of contrived to me.
I was actually gonna say that kind of is what saves that moment for me, because like we find out, they just want to rape women. And so them letting him get himself killed just makes that kind of easier for them.
My question is like what their plan was in the first place if he didn't die in the dumbest way possible, or a drip of blood falls into his fucking eye. Like they weren't planning on that happening, were they?
No, I wouldn't say so. They were taking advantage of an opportunity.
So that's what I'm saying is I don't understand why they'd wait in the first place then. Why not just go when the Gittins are hot there?
That's fair enough. I agree it seems a tad silly, Jim going fucking sicko mode. I do think they portray, like, he's not, like, running in guns blazing for the most part. He's, like, sneaking around and being intelligent, so it didn't totally take me out of the movie, but I agree it starts stretching the believability here.
Also, like, the younger girl's acting during that part is just, like, real weird. She's like, so fucking zonked out of it.
I do think it was funny as fuck, but she just runs up and, like, breaks something on the guy's fucking head because she thinks he's a zombie. That was pretty funny.
That was the weird part for me, too. I thought her acting was good for the most part for a majority of the movie, and then, for some reason, when it mattered the most, when her dad died, I didn't feel her acting wasn't very strong there to me. Like, and maybe somebody could argue, like, she just fucked up from the zombie apocalypse. She already watched her mom die from a zombie infection. Maybe that's why she's not super fucked up about it. I feel like, though, the direction of her character in that moment was supposed to be hella fucked up, and she just was not displaying that properly. Maybe that's just me. But, like, I expect her to be more emotionally distraught, especially, like, later when we find her curled in a corner crying to herself. It was just off.
I kind of disagree, just 'cause, like, the direction they decided to go with her is that her reaction to her father getting killed was to shut down, not, like, start bawling and crying.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I'm not saying that's not the case. It just didn't feel that way, because it definitely felt like she was supposed to have, like, an emotional breakdown in that moment. It just didn't happen. I also think that the way the dad went out was super anticlimactic, and I guess not everybody in a zombie movie has to go out in a climactic sort of way, but I just think he was it's one of those dumb things have to happen moments, and I don't know if I consider this a horror movie, but in horror movies where, like, characters have to be dumb for things to happen, I guess you can't anticipate a drop of blood falling from a dead body into your eyeball. But, like, also, they know how the virus is spread. Why would you even take that risk, to be completely honest? There was just some moments in this movie, like, in the part where they were, like, at the cheeseburger place, like, I'm gonna go see if there's any cheeseburgers. You know for a fact there's no fucking cheeseburgers in there. Get over yourself. He goes in there anyway for no reason but to kill a fucking zombie child, and then walks out. Like, what was the purpose of that? Just making dumb choices just because he wants to.
He wanted that thrill of killing a kid.
I think it was just mostly there just to kind of explore their surroundings while they were doing other things, and he happened upon the kid, and then it shows how he's changed as a person throughout the movie, and it's resolved now to kill that zombie.
But I will agree, I did think this movie had a very, very, very strong start. I because we went into this saying, like, oh, this is where all the zombie movies get their tropes from. Like, this is the zombie movie of all time, so I was excited for it, and I saw it in the beginning.
They're not zombies, though, dude.
That is true. They're not really zombies. They're just a viral infection. Anyway. But one thing that intrigues me, you guys know this shit more than I do, because you guys studied film or whatever. How do they get, like, just a big ol' open area to film in? Because, like, parts of London are intensely busy, and there were quite a few shots in there where there was absolutely nobody around. That part intrigues me. I'm actually just curious how that works.
That's where all their budget went, dude. They spent $2.4 billion renting out that entire street.
Literally, it was shit like they would, work with the London police, and they'd be like, hey, can we shoot in this location without anyone around? And then I think for one of the scenes, it was the police being like, okay, we can shut down this street for 20 minutes. They're like, okay. And that's part of why the camera quality seems low. This is one of the first major movies shot exclusively on digital cameras. And so the advantage of that is digital cameras are far more portable than traditional film cameras, which means that they could work with those types of restrictions where it was like, hey, you have 20 minutes to film this. And so they could get set up and film and whatever. But yeah, that's how they would shoot a lot of those scenes.
I wasn't super fucked up about the film quality. I think it looked fine. I think it was,
I think you guys
vibe.
look a bit silly complaining about that, to be honest.
The problem with this movie is that it looks like fucking ass. Generally, I think the cinematography is fine, but, like, the quality of the image is so fucking low that at some point it's legitimately hard to even see what's happening in some parts of the foreground. Like, for the most part, I think it's visibly fine, but there are certainly parts where it's very messy, and generally speaking, it's not a very attractive movie to look at, especially with the dichotomy of the first 90% of the movie and then the last 10% scene where they're using traditional film, and it looks so much fucking better. Like, it was to the point where I was watching the movie and I was like, did I download like a really low quality version of it or something? And I had to look it up because it stood out that much to me. Anyways,
dude, I think it helps with the atmosphere of the film, to be honest.
I actually agree with that. I like I said, I think it matches the vibe of the movie, to be completely honest. But whatever.
I'm ready to move to the ranks then.
Fantastic, me too. Tanner, are you lowering your ranks?
I'll go with the lower of my two and say S-.
Personally, I'm gonna bump mine up 1 to a B-.
Dude, I'm pogging right now. You can't see what I'm pogging. I'm sticking with B-.
I'm also gonna stick with B-. I thought it was fine. Yeah. There you go.
I'm hoping that the future films are better made, but still have that, like, interesting artistic charm that this one did. I am excited for the future of this series because, again, I do see value in this one, but it unfortunately just didn't land.
I think I've seen the second one, but I don't remember anything about it, and it's directed by someone else. The third one is bringing back the original director, so at the very least, I have a lot of confidence in that one.
Do they all have Cillian Murphy in it?
No.
Damn. Anyways, it's a B+ movie. How exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of B+, what are we picking this week?
I don't know. What are you two wacky boys picking?
Well, I guess, Dylan, you should probably do yours first, because that is contingent on where you're going to be voting for my normal choice of me asking if you guys want an animated or a live-action movie.
Dude, I want live action. We've been watching too much anime recently.
Dude, I also want live action.
Well, get fucked, Dylan. I literally already forgot the name of the fucking movie. God damn it. What is it called again? Hold on. Give me 1 second. 1 second here. 1 second, please. Keep holding.
Breakfast
Keep
at
holding.
Tiffany's.
No. What the fuck is it called? 1 second.
Breakfast Club.
No, it's not The Breakfast Club. It has nothing to do with breakfast. It is called Wrong Turn, the 2003 film Wrong Turn.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard of that shit.
Yeah, me neither.
That's like one of the big hillbillies or evil movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You guys picked my bad option, unsurprisingly.
If that's a horror movie, boy, I've got another horror movie for you guys.
Yay.
It is a franchise continuation, actually. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn. I was ready for it.
Alien 2.
You mean Aliens?
Sure, whatever. It's the second entry in the Aliens franchise.
Bro's wiping out my Patreon pick, that fucker.
Oh, was that in the Patreon?
Yeah.
Don't even trip, dog. Just choose it. It's been in there for almost a year anyway.
I was gonna say I could re-roll it. I don't care.
No, dude. We're watching Aliens.
Yay!
Yippee!
yeah.
Aliens, yippee! And also our Patreon pick, which of course was the 2012 film Chronicle, as requested by Tutbot. Thank you for the request.
Whoa.
Wow. And if you too would like to request your Patreon, then you can do so by going on over to guapish.com/Patreon or patreon.com/Guapish, where you will be able to donate for just a single $1 a month. You will be getting access to our pre-Guap, our fun little pre-show, early access to all our episodes, Discord access so you can talk to us and tell Tanner about how fucking ludicrous he is for putting a fucking 28 Days Later up in S tier. Like, what the fuck? As well as you can request movies and topics, and you even get 500 slime coins. Not only that, but you also get shouted out at the end of every single episode, just like I'm about to do right now. Thank you very much to GH, Slayed by J, Blake, Netagant, I Love Lesbians, Troperman Man, Cum Guzzling Cum Guzzler, I Guzzle Cum, Tutbot, Looks at that Hunter, and Jacob Edwards. Thank you very, very much, folks. If you enjoy it, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, or ring hitting that bell. We'll be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.